Hello everyone and welcome to Striking Sparks, the hot topic show where we take on today's most controversial issues. On this episode, we zero in on the perils of free speech. Tensions with North Korea have always been high, and with the production of a new film called The Interview, those tensions have gone even further. Major retaliation has been threatened by a high-tech terrorist organization based in North Korea, forcing the United States to examine its cybersecurity practices. Additionally, in the past few weeks, the eyes of the world have been focused on Paris and a small satirical magazine called Charlie Hebdo, whose offices were attacked earlier this month for publishing images of the Prophet Muhammad. In this episode, we ask the question, can satire go too far? And is it worth possible life-threatening retaliation to exercise freedom of expression? Those and more questions will be battled around by our panel of guests when Striking Sparks continues right after this.
I survived.
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 Blind and childish, I won't fight. Here I hide underneath my innocent grow. Blind and childish, I won't fight. Here I hide underneath my innocent grow.
Welcome back to our show. For our first question, do you guys think that satire can go too far?
Absolutely. There are lines that can't be crossed. I mean, in terms of the whole Charlie Hebdo thing, going and walking all over the Islamic religion in the sense that they bar the showing of the Prophet Muhammad, that's definitely crossing a line. It's discriminating, in a sense, against their religion, and it's definitely going too far.
You can't hurt other people's feelings. You can't involve your personal views over another person's. You just can't interfere with those things. You gotta protect their rights of discrimination.
But mind you, the magazine also has made fun of other religions other than just Islam. Islam's not the first one, and for being a Christian or Catholic, you cannot take Christ's name in vain. So that some of their stuff is also impeded on Christians' right, but doesn't matter if you do block out everything that hurts everyone's feelings. Nothing's going to be there, and it's all going to be just censorship.
I kind of think that though it isn't really good to just walk over someone's religion like that, if they weren't justified in their retaliation, you can't just go in and shoot up offices.
No, of course you can't. But at that same
people
time,
still do.
People do it for the fact that overreaction is human nature, but they were completely justified in their using of the pictures of Muhammad for the fact that they're not Islamic. They do not believe that there is an issue with showing a picture of the Prophet Muhammad. So, provided that you are not damaging in any way physically anything about the other person or persons, I don't see why there should be
We revolutionized. We revolutionized for our freedoms. Why shouldn't they be the ones to go and fight and retaliate?
But it's not their country.
Against these people. They need to go and attack them.
It's not their country.
That's what they're hurting people. The best way is to go through non-violence, but sometimes violence is necessary.
But it's not their country. They're
not
not fighting
necessary.
for themselves.
You got to make sure you keep,
So something that had popped up in France.
Whatever's necessary.
So
when you attack somebody physically with guns without even saying, okay, we don't like this, please stop this, never do this again, and no one has done it before, Christians, we didn't go and shoot them up when they printed stuff about Christians.
Crusades. We invaded their country and killed them.
We were misled by horrible popes.
I think that the difference between the Crusades and this, the real difference is the Crusades was because of something physical. They were barring people from the holy city of Jerusalem. It's a bit different when the barring is on a piece of paper it's a little less tangible than
It's going to be
access
forgotten
to
like a week later.
a holy spot.
Right, and to Keegan's earlier point, how it's not, the people in Charlie Hebdo aren't necessarily Islamic, so maybe they didn't know. Would it have killed them to maybe get educated on the subject? Like, know that printing a picture of Muhammad would offend people?
Well, I kind of think that that's more of what they should have done in retaliation. I kind of think of it more as murder, but...
They definitely should have, the Islamic people definitely should have said, this is against what we believe.
Yeah, you can do it peacefully. You don't need to go guns a-blazing.
I mean, America, Revolutionary War. What did we do first?
Send
Olive Branch petition. We asked peacefully for a representative in Parliament. They denied us, even when they could have just easily said, okay, send over 2 representatives to Parliament. It would probably not have changed anything within Parliament, but they said
the
no.
concept is still there,
and what we ended up doing was we retaliated physically because it was the last straw and we had nothing left to do.
France is a very multicultural nation. It should have been educated on these things about Islam. It should be in our curriculum. Like in any country, we need to have this multicultural.
Yeah, you kind of need to know a little bit about everything so you aren't insensitive and aren't offending people. Also, I think that we should probably wrap up this segment a little bit with the interview. And the concept is pretty much the same. And the film, I really get the feeling that they went too far. And I guess the question now is retaliation the only way to really take care of something like this?
I've actually seen the movie. They have it on Netflix now.
Yes, they do. I have seen it. Yes, it is very funny.
Yeah, but really, I mean, I didn't see anything wrong with it. I didn't see anything really worth retaliating over. It's a comedy.
I think you also need to remember that they view their leader as a
as
god.
a god.
So
they do.
And the concept that you can kill them.
Well, they make him.
Yeah.
They make him seem like a god.
Yeah.
He forces his people.
So,
do you guys really think that hacking Sony is enough for the last part of
I think
the
they were
segment?
justified, but I don't know if it's really the best way to go about it.
They were not at all. I do not believe that they were at all justified in hacking a organization that's across the sea.
If they would have done the same thing with Obama or God forbid with George Bush, even it would have been for sure.
well, let's think about it. They are a major threat to us. We gotta make sure we protect ourselves.
All right, that's all for this segment. When we come back, we have Fired Up.
Join us every week for Justin's Journal right here on Cat TV. Come on, move it!
Welcome back to Striking Sparks. Time now for our final segment that we call Fired Up, where our panelists can take shots at whatever's on their mind. So, Matt, what do you have on your mind?
So recently I read on Tumblr, actually, that in Michigan they recently passed a law, well not a law, but like a thing, a law I guess, where EMTs in the state of Michigan can refuse service and help to a person if he is gay on the basis of religious freedom.
I kind of get the EMT, that's ridiculous.
Well,
With
that's,
EMTs, yeah.
That's definitely a little,
Your
like,
attention, please.
you can't do that. I mean, come on.
It's that person's life. That's
An
too far.
EMT is a person who's a public servant. They have to go and help these people.
Yeah, it's like
Well,
a
not all
police
the
officer
time.
not arresting someone on the grounds of...
Well, it's not. They're not all the time paid, so that would go more on a public
That leaves
matter,
it up to their
and
decision whether they want to help this person or not.
because they are volunteers.
Maybe they.
it's somebody's life.
We're not saying that it's good for moral, but still,
It's
their choice.
It's really unacceptable.
You'd have to be a major dirtbag not to help someone if they're dying.
It's
I'll
like
agree with that.
somebody's
Yeah.
house is burning down, and
the fire department
they
is
just
volunteer.
happen to have 2 guys in the same room just refuse to save their lives. It kind of
It's
takes it a
not
bit
up
too
to-
far. It takes it.
And that's the other thing. How are you going to know like if someone's gay or not? Like, what if it's just like a big hetero like poker game? Like, Not gonna
hetero post.
Like, oh, it's all guys here. I'm not gonna.
He's gay. He's gay. You can tell. He's gay.
It's basically like.
It's the way he walks.
It's junior high, but for EMTs. Oh, he's gay. I can't help him.
Yeah, it's.
I get the feeling that it's really
Just like
unacceptable.
if you're a lifeguard, you have to jump in and save the person. You can't let them drown. You can't go, oh, damn, that sucks.
Well, they're paid a lot of times too.
Yeah,
Well,
but even though if you have the certification, you have
I'd
to
say
do
that
it.
EMTs
Not
at
all
least
EMTs
need
are paid.
need pre-med, I believe. So
No,
so they
In
kind of
Jersey, I'm a lifeguard, and I have to go and jump in and save somebody, even if I'm off duty in the off season. Granted, why are you swimming in the winter? But
Yes.
if you are, I have to go save you.
well,
It's
yeah,
my
it's
requirement.
kind of
that's
your
if
thing.
Blake's.
So, Todd, what's on your mind?
I was thinking about how the president was talking about how for 2-year community college, free for everybody. This is a great step towards universal education, bringing people to have a better way to get out of the circumstances that they're in. This is, it should be free. It honestly should be free
Yeah.
across the board.
I like the idea.
Especially in like, really urban centers where like, take like say, like Compton, not to generalize or anything, but take Compton. Say there's a community college there, and there's maybe a bunch of low-income people who maybe don't have access to, a good, paid school.
Yeah.
A free community college is definitely a great option to get them education.
Yeah, because I've. It almost seems like education in this country is a relic that only the rich can really
or the middle class,
have.
like
Yeah,
middle class.
or at least the upper middle class, or they're the only real people that can really access
Higher
education and higher education.
But then again, when you give free community college to people, where is that money coming from?
It comes from taxpayer money, and I think that
But
all
then
of us.
at that
can-
point, you're going to increase the taxes, and
Oh,
Well,
darn.
that's a
Distributing the
that's a
wealth.
debate
That's such a
for-
But
terrible
also,
thing.
mind you, the people who are going
there's
to college.
that's a debate for another debate for another day. But
Mind you, another, going back to what he said about how, like, where is it coming from? Mind you, the people who are also going to college, they're old enough that they will be paying income taxes as well if
And
they
they
do
will
have
have
jobs.
jobs.
They will be
True.
paying
We'll be
the
diverted
taxes
from,
too. So,
defense
like,
spending, it won't
so-
be a problem.
So then is it true?
oh yeah, we're already overpaying in taxes already.
yeah,
come on.
that's another
Is it
question to
truly
bring up.
free
Is
then
it
if
truly
they're-
free?
why did we leave
Huh.
Britain?
But
Taxes.
well, not taxes. Taxes without-
Unjustified taxes.
Going to you, Gabe. What's on your mind?
I saw a little bit ago, like a couple months ago, that Obama was trying to bring back relations with Cuba.
Awesome.
That sounds pretty interesting.
I
because
feel that from one point of view that it could be a great
it could be
investment.
really risky though.
yeah.
Because
along
if they
with-
still have ties to Russia and such, that's kind of.
well, we have ties with Russia too, but the USSR, as we know now, is not like.
I think that's a really good topic and a really good future topic for the show, talking about communism and the state of Russia and
Rebuilding the
Ukraine.
USSR.
Yeah.
And finally, for you, Keegan, what's on your mind?
Obama and giving jobs to illegal immigrants.
Why?
Why?
Immigration.
In what world would you do that?
A world
I
where we
don't
don't
know.
have enough jobs as it is, and we need to create more jobs to get more money into the economy so that we can continue
Well,
being
as
awesome.
you're
You can kind of see it in two different lights, though. I know where you're coming from. I know where Matt's coming from.
Really, though, ideally, we should have a system where there are no borders, no lines separating countries. People can just come and go as they please, but that can't happen because overpopulation.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, and overpopulation isn't exactly a very good thing. It's not very.
No.
It's not.
Decreases the
it's a big
country.
issue.
Yeah.
So
and there are ways to solve overpopulation, definitely, but
yeah.
Not humanely.
not well. There are humane ways, but But it would cost far.
It would
too
cost
much
a lot.
money
Right.
So that's
that
why if you
America
have to-
already doesn't.
I think the
have.
concept of immigration is, again, a debate for another day.
Yeah.
So that's all the time we have for today. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us on the show, and thank you at home for watching. I'm Connor Sparks. We will see you next time right here on Striking Sparks.